will return to the critical business that we do. We are more than just lighting designers, and we are more than just front of house and monitor engineers and techs and grips. We are the bearers of broadcasts and the stewards of the words of Baldwin and Shakespeare. We are the force behind the curtain that helps the nervous young executive get ready for their first speech. We are the nearly invisible camera operators, capturing a singer, giving the performance of their life. And we are the purveyors of drama and pathos in light and music and video and sets. We are the lifeblood of an industry that I am humbled and honored to call my own. Stay strong, take care of yourselves, be kind. It is again a privilege to be here with you. And I'm again humbled that you have taken the time to join with me here today. As always, a big thank you to Martin Professional and Harmon, and especially Michael Grandinetti and Brad Schiller for bringing us all together in this way. So in my last webinar, we explored the topic of lighting design in a theoretical sense. What I want to do in this webinar is discuss one possible workflow, the one that I use, when I'm getting ideas from my brain onto paper, into a computer, and ultimately, hopefully, in front of a client, when they're putting together a rig. But what I want the client to see is a lighting design. And that's really about them seeing where the lights go, and to give some of the more technically inclined people who might be looking at it a sort of basic understanding of the lighting placement and layout and scale. So I want to get lights placed around in places that will create the lighting effects I want to use in the particular production. But a fully numbered and annotated broadsheet of information isn't what those people need. So while I'm intentional about placement, and I'm intentional about making sure that things are appropriately and well placed and take the time to do the actual lighting layout like I normally would, I don't worry about creating detailed plot views that show DMX addresses, fixture numbers, circuit information, that sort of thing at this stage. So this is the point in my workflow where I acknowledge the strengths of Spotlight, and I really try to use plugins to their full potential here. Spotlight has a lot of them, and they're generally very good. I start generally by building the stage that I'm going to be working on, which for most arena productions is a 40 by 60 stage, usually about 5 to 6 feet tall. There's a very useful tool in Vectorworks for building stage decks and various sets of stairs that's very useful for this. From there, I will move on to building the set. Now, everybody likes to do their Vectorworks files in a different way. I'm pretty retentive about keeping my classes and my layers, and especially my asset manager structure, clean. Intelligent light symbols have their own folder. Each light has its own class with its own color. I typically divide layers as logically as I can, and I preface the layer name with what they are. So mod or set for modeling or set stuff, light or LX for lighting, odd for audio, which is usually line arrays, plot for non-physical stuff like a center line marker, dim for all of my dimensions, and that makes it easy for me to keep things organized. But as I said, everybody has their own method of building Vectorworks files that appeals to them. But I will say this, if you send out a Vectorworks file and you put everything into the none class, rest assured that nobody likes you. Please don't do that. Another note about working in both Vectorworks and Cinema, we'll talk about Cinema a little bit further down, I find a 3D mouse to be invaluable to my workflow. The one I use is the 3D Connections